Imagine an enormous swordfish, a creature of staggering size, silently navigating the deepest, darkest corners of our oceans. Is it possible that a colossal, undiscovered species of swordfish, far larger than anything we know, exists in the deep sea, evading every one of our scientific probes and expeditions? This isn't just a fantasy. The evidence for deep ocean anomalies is mounting. Prepare to have your perception of marine life shattered as we uncover 20 massive sea creatures caught on camera. Number 20. Red devil squid. If you ever wondered what a real sea monster looks like, this is it. A red devil squid attacked a diver during an underwater expedition, and the whole thing was caught on camera. Steve Backshall and his team were tracking down some of the world's creatures when things got a little too close for comfort. Even though the squid appeared calm at first, these fierce predators are completely unpredictable. Within seconds, the situation changed and the squid went after the diver. Thankfully, safety diver Scott was right there to help. Red devil squid are no joke. They use powerful siphons to jet through the water and can release an ink smoke screen to disorient their prey. Watching how quickly this creature moves shows just how easily it could overpower anything in its path. Despite the scary encounter, Backshall couldn't hide his amazement. He called it one of the weirdest and most beautiful creatures he's ever seen. These expeditions take teams to some of the most hostile and remote places on Earth. Encounters like this remind us why the ocean demands respect. Number 19. Diver films giant white shark. Ron Elliott was diving alone along Northern California's rugged coastline when something slammed into him from behind. A massive great white shark came straight out of the murky water and headbutted him right in the skull. The impact knocked his head forward. Then the shark's lower jaw struck him again, pushing his head down toward the ocean floor. Most people would panic, but Elliott knew exactly what had just happened. This wasn't his first close call with a white shark. What did he do next? He just kept swimming and calmly filmed the shark as it circled around him before eventually leaving. The whole encounter was captured in a short film called Near Mississippi. Elliott described the shark as looking absolutely perfect, like it came straight out of an injection mold. Despite the terrifying moment, there was clear admiration in his words. This senior diver has become something of a legend for his solo adventures in some of California's most shark-populated waters. Getting headbutt by an apex predator and casually filming it afterward is not something most people could handle. Ron Elliott is definitely built different. Number 18. Giant jellyfish spotted by divers. Divers off the coast of Cornwall had an incredible encounter with a massive barrel jellyfish. Biologist Lizzie Daly came face to face with the creature and said it was as big as her entire body. Barrel jellyfish are the largest species found in British waters. The average one measures about 16 inches in diameter, so you can imagine how remarkable it was to see one this size drifting through the water. The encounter was captured by underwater cameraman Dan Abbott during Wild Ocean Week. In the video, Daly swims right alongside the enormous jelly, giving viewers a perfect sense of just how huge this thing really is. These gentle giants are a stunning reminder of what's swimming just off familiar coastlines. Most people never realize creatures this size are floating around in waters so close to shore. Number 17. Giant sea spider. Take a look at this incredible sight. A massive sea spider is feeding on its victim in the dark depths of the ocean. Pycnogonids are relatives of the spiders we see on land, which is why scientists call them sea spiders. Now, you might have spotted tiny ones in tide pools before, but those are nothing compared to their deep-sea cousins. These giants can have legs spanning over 20 inches across. Researchers from Bari captured this video using remotely operated vehicles deep in Monterey Canyon. At least 2 species from the Colocendius group have been spotted lurking down there. What makes these creatures really fascinating is how they eat. They're suctorial predators, meaning they feed by sucking bodily fluids from other marine animals. In this case, the spider has its proboscis inserted directly into a pom-pom anemone's tentacle, basically drinking its victim alive. These 8-legged hunters are surprisingly mobile, too. They can walk along the seafloor or swim when needed. It's a reminder that the deep ocean has its own version of every nightmare creature we have on land. Number 16. Goliath grouper. This is an amazing creature that gathers off the east coast of Florida every summer. Goliath groupers start showing up in shipwrecks, caves, and ledges around mid-August, forming enormous herds of these ancient giants. These fish are absolute characters. They have slow metabolisms and just sit there watching you with those turret-like eyes moving back and forth. One diver described them as reminding him of his uncle from New Jersey lounging on a couch. There's something oddly relatable about them. The Goliaths are here for one reason. It's spawning season. They wait for the perfect conditions, the right tide and the right moon, before making their move. Diving with them is never easy. Visibility constantly changes and currents shift unpredictably. But then suddenly a shipwreck appears, surrounded by an enormous herd of these prehistoric-looking creatures. At times, massive schools of cigar minnows completely obscure the groupers. They form silvery curtains in the water. And as you swim closer, those curtains lift and surround the giant fish like a shimmering cloak. There's something magical about witnessing this annual gathering of ancient Goliaths. Now it's time for today's topic. In early 2025, an autonomous deep-sea probe surveying the Puerto Rico Trench transmitted footage that stunned researchers at Woods Hole Oceanographic Institution. At nearly 7,500 meters down, the cameras caught a massive, blade-backed creature drifting through the darkness, its dorsal structure taller than a human and shaped like a jagged sword. The water around it shimmered as if displaced by immense force. Unlike known swordfish, this organism moved slowly, deliberately, conserving energy in the crushing pressure of the Hadal Zone. Sonar briefly lost lock as the creature passed beneath the probe, triggering alarms on the surface vessel. Scientists reviewing the data noted bone density and fin structure inconsistent with any documented species, living or extinct. Some now believe an ancient lineage may still patrol Earth's deepest trenches. If this predator exists, what else has survived where humans can barely reach? Number 15. Leatherback sea turtle. This incredible video captures a leatherback sea turtle gliding through the waters off Townsville in North Queensland, Australia. It's the largest turtle species on the planet, and watching it move is absolutely mesmerizing. Leatherbacks are the fourth heaviest modern reptile, only behind crocodilians. On land, these giants would seem impossibly heavy, but in the water, they appear completely weightless. The way this massive creature floats and maneuvers so gracefully is something you have to see to believe. Unlike other sea turtles, leatherbacks don't have a hard shell. Instead, their bodies are covered in thick, leathery skin, which is exactly how they got their name. This unique feature helps them dive deeper than any other turtle species. Getting this close to one in its natural habitat is incredibly rare. These ancient reptiles have been swimming the oceans for millions of years, long before dinosaurs went extinct. Watching this gentle giant drift effortlessly through the blue water is a powerful reminder of the amazing creatures sharing our planet. Nature truly doesn't get more impressive than this. Number 14. Giant Pacific octopus. Seeing a giant Pacific octopus out hunting is incredibly rare. In over 2,000 dives, this experienced diver has only witnessed it 4 times. So, when his buddy Dave signaled he found something at 70 feet deep off West Seattle, he knew it was special. What they discovered was a massive octopus actively searching for food. The mantle alone measured 20 to 24 inches tall, with arms stretching 7 to 9 feet from center to tip. They followed this magnificent creature for 15 minutes as it went about its business. Then something amazing happened. The octopus got curious about the diver and his camera. It reached out and explored, running its suckers across his head and mask. Did he panic? Not at all. He held perfectly still and kept filming. The octopus never pulled or showed aggression. It was simply satisfying its curiosity before moving on. At one point, they watched it snatch a crab from a hole and tuck it under its mantle. This is nature at its most raw and beautiful. Number 13. Close encounter with basking shark. A kayaker off the Isle of Man got the surprise of a lifetime when a massive basking shark swam right up beside them. The incredible moment was caught on video, showing just how enormous these creatures really are. Basking sharks are the second largest fish in the world, and seeing one this close from a small kayak is both thrilling and humbling. In the video, the giant glides effortlessly through the water, its huge dorsal fin breaking the surface just feet away. Despite their intimidating size, basking sharks are completely harmless to humans. They're filter feeders that survive on tiny plankton, swimming along with their mouths wide open to catch food. These gentle giants are regularly spotted in British and Irish waters during warmer months when plankton is plentiful. Still, having one cruise right past your kayak is an encounter most people never forget. Number 12. Massive white shark. You're about to witness one of the most intense shark encounters ever filmed. Diver Jimmy Partington was lying in a clear protective box on the water surface when a 16-foot great white shark came charging straight at him. At first, the massive predator was just gliding curiously through the water, but then it started prowling closer and closer to the cage. Suddenly, the beast accelerated ferociously through a school of fish and slammed into the box, attempting to lock its powerful jaws around the base. The impact was so violent that Jimmy was thrown completely out of the cage. He found himself floundering in open water with a great white circling nearby. You can see him desperately trying to get back into the box before giving up and swimming for his life toward the boat. Here's the miraculous part. Despite this terrifying encounter, Jimmy didn't get a single scratch on him. Producers called it probably the most spectacular sequence in Shark Week history. The The footage was shot in 2020 and reminds us just how powerful and unpredictable these apex predators can be. Number 11. Curious baby manatee. This heartwarming video captures an adorable encounter between a curious baby manatee and a kayaker. The little calf swam right up to investigate, showing just how friendly these gentle giants can be. Baby manatees are naturally curious creatures. They've been known to approach humans and kayaks, sometimes even seeking interaction. It's hard not to fall in love with them when they get this close. Manatees are often called gentle giants for good reason. They move through the water at a relaxing pace of about 5 miles per hour and spend up to 8 hours a day grazing on aquatic plants. They eat a lot, too, consuming up to 9% of their body weight daily. Mother manatees are incredibly devoted parents. They nurse their calves for about 2 years and teach them everything they need to survive. The bond between mother and baby is strong, and you'll often see them swimming side by side. Here's a fun fact. The closest living relative to the manatee is actually the elephant. Both are mammals, and manatees give birth to live young, just like their land-dwelling cousins. Encounters like this remind us how special Florida's waters truly are. Number 10. Giant squid. Scientists on an expedition in the Gulf of Mexico just witnessed something extraordinary. A giant squid appeared on their screen, rising out of the pitch-black depths about 2,490 feet below the surface. This is only the second time a giant squid has ever been filmed in its natural habitat. The creature measured around 10 to 12 feet long and was captured just 100 miles southeast of New Orleans. The team used a special camera system called Medusa. Myself and Edie, we've been deploying a deep-sea camera called the Medusa out in the Gulf of Mexico, which uses red light that deep-sea creatures can't see. It also has a lure that mimics a glowing jellyfish to attract large predators. As the footage played back, the researchers watched in stunned silence as the squid's long arms slowly unfurled from the darkness. Its movements were deliberate and confident, not the drifting motions many had expected from such a mysterious animal. For a moment, the creature seemed to study the glowing lure, hovering just out of reach like a ghost in the void. The immense pressure and total darkness of that depth made the encounter feel almost unreal. Seeing a living giant squid in its true environment gave scientists a rare emotional connection to a species long confined to myths and dead specimens. It was a reminder that even with modern technology, the deep ocean can still surprise us in profound ways. What scientists learned from this video is fascinating. Giant squids are active hunters, not passive drifters like some had assumed. They also have the largest eyes of any animal on the planet and are clearly visual predators. More than 80% of our ocean remains unexplored. This incredible encounter reminds us that amazing creatures are lurking right in America's own backyard waters. Number 9. Sea monster in Indonesia. A massive creature washed up on a remote Indonesian beach, and locals had no idea what they were looking at. The nearly 50-foot-long blob was oozing a mysterious red fluid, sparking wild speculation about sea monsters. Local resident Asrul Tuanakota discovered the bizarre carcass on Hulung Beach. He initially thought it was a stranded boat. That's how enormous this thing was. So what was it? Actually, experts say it's a baleen whale in a seriously advanced state of decomposition. Whale biologist Alexander Worth identified key features that gave it away: the throat grooves and upper jaw structure where baleen plates would normally sit. The exact species remains uncertain. Could be a blue whale, bride's whale, or possibly a fin whale. Here's what caused that strange bloated appearance. When whales die, bacteria in their guts keep producing gas, inflating the body like a balloon. This whale had been dead anywhere from 2 weeks to several months. Sometimes the scariest-looking sea monsters turn out to be nature's decomposition process at work. Number 8. Giant sea worm. Videographer Steve Hathaway was filming a tourism promo off New Zealand when his friend Andrew Buttle called him over to see something bizarre. What he found was a 26-foot-long translucent creature that looked like a giant windsock floating in the water. This strange thing is called a pyrosome, and Hathaway had been hoping to see one for years. It was so massive he could actually swim through it. Here's the really wild part. Pyrosome isn't just one animal. It's actually a free-floating colony of hundreds or thousands of tiny organisms called zooids. Each one filters water to catch food particles, working together as one giant tube-shaped creature. These things even glow in the dark. The name pyrosome comes from Greek words meaning fire and body, thanks to their natural bioluminescence. Hathaway and Buttle spent about 40 minutes swimming around this incredible find. For experienced divers who've seen manta rays and whales, this was still something special. Sometimes it takes something truly strange to remind us how mysterious our oceans really are. Number 7. Giant phantom jelly. This video captures one of the most elusive creatures in the ocean, the giant phantom jellyfish. A remote-operated vehicle filmed the stunning scarlet jelly about 3,200 feet below the surface in Monterey Bay, California. These creatures truly live up to their name. The bell-shaped head can reach up to 3 feet wide, and those flowing ribbon-like arms extend an incredible 33 feet long. Watch how it pulses and glows a faint orange as it drifts through the pitch-black water. Here's what makes this sighting so rare. Since scientists first discovered this species in 1899, it has only been observed about 100 times total. These jellies lurk as deep as 21,900 feet in what's called the midnight zone, where no sunlight ever reaches. Researchers believe the giant phantom uses those long draping arms to tangle up prey and bring it to its mouth. Interestingly, smaller fish have been spotted hiding among its tentacles for protection in the open water. Traditional nets can't capture these creatures for study because their soft bodies simply disintegrate. That's why remote vehicles are so valuable for understanding these mysterious deep-sea giants. Number 6. Whale shark swims right into diver. A diver got the fright of his life when the largest fish on the planet came barreling straight toward him. The terrifying moment was all caught on camera. He was enjoying an underwater adventure when a massive whale shark appeared out of nowhere. Before he could react, the enormous creature was already heading right at him with its mouth wide open. You can hear the diver let out a scream as the giant fish closes in. To make matters worse, he also got whacked by the whale shark's fin as it swam past. Talk about a double hit. Here's the good news, though. Despite looking absolutely terrifying, whale sharks are gentle giants. They only eat plankton and tiny fish, so humans are definitely not on the menu. In fact, there has never been a recorded incident of a whale shark purposefully injuring a person. The diver wasn't hurt during the encounter. By the end of the video, you can actually hear him laughing about the whole thing. It's one of those moments that's scary in the moment, but makes for an incredible story afterward. Number 5. Alien-like squid. So, a diver recently captured footage of something absolutely wild. They stumbled upon a Magnapinus squid, one of the rarest and creepiest creatures lurking in our oceans. Now take a look at this thing. Those arms stretch up to 23 feet long, just floating there like something from another planet. The way it moves through the water is both mesmerizing and honestly a little unsettling. Here's where it gets even crazier. These squids normally hang out in the Hadal Zone, the absolute deepest parts of the ocean. We're talking over 20,000 feet below the surface where no light ever reaches. So catching one on camera is incredibly rare. A lot of people have pointed out that it looks just like the creature from the movie Alien, and they're not wrong. This footage really makes you think. Why search for aliens in outer space when creatures like this are swimming around in our own backyard? The ocean is still hiding so many secrets. Number 4. Incredible manta ray. Here is another creature that will leave you speechless. This stunning video shows a giant manta ray actively seeking out contact with a free diver in the waters of Revillagigedo. What makes this encounter so remarkable is that the manta ray actually wanted to interact. These giant rays in this region are known for approaching divers, not swimming away from them. It's a behavior that sets them apart from manta rays elsewhere in the world. Watch how gracefully this massive creature moves through the water. Manta rays can have wingspans reaching up to 23 feet across. Yet, they glide with effortless elegance. In the video, the ray swoops and circles around the free diver like it's performing an underwater ballet. Despite their enormous size, manta rays are completely harmless to humans. They feed on tiny plankton and have no teeth or stingers. Their curiosity toward divers seems almost playful. Moments like this remind us that the ocean holds experiences beyond anything we could imagine. Having a creature this large and intelligent choose to spend time with you underwater is truly humbling. Number 3. Curious white shark. A fisherman had the most terrifying experience of his life while diving off the coast of South Africa. Johan Potgieter came face to face with an aggressive great white shark and had to fight for his survival. Potgieter and other divers were spear fishing about 62 feet underwater east of Cape Town when the massive predator appeared. The entire heart-pounding encounter was captured on his underwater camera as the shark turns around for a head-on approach. For a brief moment, time seemed to slow as the shark's silhouette grew larger, its movements calm but deliberate. The water around him felt suddenly vast and empty, amplifying the danger of being so exposed. Every instinct screamed to flee, yet he knew turning his back could make things worse. The shark's dark eyes locked onto him, testing boundaries in a way only apex predators do. Training, adrenaline, and sheer willpower took over as he prepared to react. It was the kind of encounter that leaves no room for hesitation or error. He bravely used his spear gun to push the creature away and frantically swam toward the surface. "Aye, boys, look out for the white," he screams to warn the others. The shark kept circling below as he scrambled aboard the boat. White! Once safe, he told his team in disbelief that the shark was right next to him and he had to shove it away with his gun. Pajayatar later explained he had to show dominance to avoid being bitten. He admitted it could have easily been the end of him. Number 2. Tiger shark. Shark dives don't always go as planned, and this video proves it. A massive 16-foot tiger shark turned aggressive and went after a diver in the waters of Fiji. Tiger sharks are known as one of the most dangerous shark species in the ocean. They're opportunistic predators that will investigate almost anything that catches their attention. When one this size decides to get aggressive, you're in serious trouble. In the video, you can see the enormous shark making its move toward the diver. These encounters happen fast, and there's very little time to react when a predator this powerful has you in its sights. The diver appears to freeze for a split second, a moment where instinct and training collide. You can almost feel the tension through the screen as the shark closes the distance with slow, deliberate confidence. Water churns as the animal shifts direction, clearly focused and assessing its target. Experienced divers know that sudden movements can trigger a strike, making every second feel unbearably long. The silence of the ocean only amplifies the danger, broken only by bubbles and frantic heartbeats. It's the kind of moment that permanently etches itself into memory. Shark dives are popular with thrill seekers who want to get up close with these apex predators. Most of the time, the sharks remain calm and simply cruise past. But every now and then, one decides to remind everyone who really rules these waters. Number 1. Giant sunfish. Take a look at this incredible sighting. A massive sunfish was spotted cruising off Bondi Beach in Australia, giving divers a rare and spectacular encounter. Sunfish are absolutely enormous. One of the largest ever recorded was found near Auckland and weighed about 2.5 tons. That's roughly the size of 2 giraffes or a small elephant. Yet, despite their massive size, scientists still know surprisingly little about them. These gentle giants have tiny mouths and don't bite, so they pose no danger to humans. Some are curious and will approach divers, while others are skittish and swim away. They actually seem to have distinct personalities. Divers who encounter sunfish often describe the moment as surreal, watching a creature that looks almost unreal drift effortlessly through the water. Their slow, calm movements give the impression that time itself has slowed down around them. In some cases, sunfish linger near divers, seemingly studying them just as intently as they are being observed. This calm behavior has led researchers to believe sunfish may be more aware of their surroundings than previously thought. Moments like these blur the line between observer and observed, creating a powerful emotional connection to the ocean. What makes sunfish so fascinating is how different they look at various life stages. Their larvae are tiny and look nothing like the adults. Scientists have compared them to little Pokemon characters. Sunfish are known to cruise oceans worldwide, but are more commonly spotted in Bali, Indonesia, where divers can swim alongside them on the reefs. Encounters like this one off Bondi are truly special and remind us how much the ocean still has to reveal. Thanks for watching and see you in the next video.